Yo, check this out.
Previously heard. Good Hope FM. Let's go.
Ladies and gents, she's got one of the most recognizable voices in UK pop right now, but this time Mimi Webb is doing something she's never done before. Teaming up with another pop powerhouse, Meghan Trainor, on a disco-laced glitter punch of a track. It's called Mind Reader, and we've been playing it on rotation here on Good Hope FM. It's a song about confidence, knowing your worth, and not necessarily settling for anyone who doesn't really see you for who you really are. And if you followed Mimi's evolution from Good Without or House on Fire to her debut album, Amelia, this really does feel like a bold new page. And she is very excited, as we are, to welcome her to the Hit 30 today on Good Hope FM. Fresh off your tour, writing, releasing. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I love that lovely welcome. How
Did you see
guys?
the glitter punch, disco lace? Does it feel like we've captured this essence, correctly?
It really does. I feel like you guys have just got it down to a T with what the song's about.
Yeah, it's such a bop. Honestly, we've been loving it on the show. I played it for the team when you released it on the New Music Friday, and we were just absolutely in love with everything that it has to offer, because it is such a bop. And I think this collab just seems to make so much sense between the two of you, just absolute powerhouses. But obviously underneath it all, it's really about demanding clarity and emotional accountability. So what were you working through when you wrote this?
Honestly, the way I explain how this song came about in the best way is just the fact that, number one, I just have never wrote with another pop artist. So that was just so cool. And let alone a female pop artist, it was just incredible to be able to go in with another strong, amazing woman and get this song written together. And honestly, it literally was just like two pop girlies just having such a laugh, getting to know each other, building a friendship, and that is really what I feel like the song represents for me when I look back. So yeah, it's just all that kind of energy that we put into it, in the moment feelings, and just the whole idea of like, I don't need to tell you what I think every time. I need you to I need you to just know. So it's a bit of fun as well, a bit of a laugh.
I think that it's so nice because you can hear that in the song, right? You can hear that there's a synergy about it that just makes sense, especially with Meghan Trainor coming onto the track. And I know it's quite rare because usually with collabs, these are prepared long in advance. But this one, funny enough, was you had actually sent it to her later on for her to jump on the track. And I was wondering, like, for this to happen, what did you hear, like, when you first heard the complete version? What was it that brought out something in you that was like, yes, this is going to be the direction I'm going for the first collab that I'm going to do?
So I basically started it just like on it being my song. Like, we wrote this one for my project, and then just hearing our voices together, I was like, we need to get this one out together. Like, there's no way I can release this without Meghan. So it was just that crazy moment of like the adrenaline, and we were just like, let's just do it. Why not? Yeah. And being my first collaboration as well, it was just super exciting. So I feel, I'm just like, I feel like it was meant to be for this song, was for us to do it together, because I just can't ever picture doing it, releasing it on my own.
Yeah, it does sound like a perfect collab between the two of you. Like, honestly, like your vocals together complement each other so well. But I was quite interested in your sort of musical journey so far, because like from One Eyed Open to Mind Reader, there's definitely a shift we've seen. I don't know whether you are doing this intentionally or not, but it's not just sonically, it's also just emotionally as well. Is this new disco pop sound evolution of Mimi, or is this just a reinvention of the old Mimi?
Do you know what? It's actually crazy because the album and everything else isn't similar to what I've done. That was just very much for Meghan and me. Everything else, there's a lot more depth and I'd say there's a lot more maturity to everything else that I'm doing creatively and musically. So it's cool because it's been fun to release this video and everything and make it really disco-y and pop and that kind of stuff, and then start releasing my other bits that are just so different. Well, not different, but they are different to that. It's like very still kind of the classic Mimi pop emotional music, but there's a lot more maturity to it, and I think it's just the kind of feeling of becoming a woman now and then starting to become more of an adult, and you just start to have other things to write about and talk about, and yeah, it's been really nice to kind of collaborate those two worlds together a little bit with what I'm going through now and where I'm at now as like a 24-year-old. So yeah, I think everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, wait, we're switching it.
No, I don't think it'll be a switch up. I think people are going to be excited to see that even just creatively, you've got another side to you that they're looking to explore, and recognize that there's so much more to you than the brand that we may have known. And we love these little ADHD, little side path, little moments of exploration creatively. It's fantastic. And Cape Town, you've obviously heard us hype it on the station before. We really want you guys to hear the magic for yourself. Mimi Webb together with us here on the Hit 30. She features with Meghan Trainor on this track. It's called Mind Reader, right here on the Hit 30. Take a listen.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you're maturing, and what I love about artists is that it also feels like in this generation we are growing with artists. We are going through life with them, and I love the fact that you mentioned that, because yes, your debut album was called Amelia, which is very much your first name, and I just want to know, like, do you think that transitioning now, obviously you said this one is just one of those songs that are a little bit different to what we used to, but with the new work that you're doing and hopefully a new album, I wanted to know from you, are we going to see more of Amelia or still having to see that Mimi as a performer kind of vibe?
Well, that's a really good question. I feel like it's this next era for me is very away from Amelia. I feel like it's kind of the Mimi Webb performer, pop star girl, but with with a lot of kind of songs written about what Amelia's been through and things that have kind of happened in the last few years, and they're very emotional. There's some darker elements to things, and you know, even when I show people like some bits around the new kind of music, everyone just feels like it's just a matured version of me, and it just feels like there's more meaning behind it in a way. And I think being able to go and do, you know, to do it all over again and be able to do it on kind of like a round two moment, it's kind of really cool, because you get to decide how you really want it to come across, and you know it from the first time round, you know how it all works this time, and you know what you want to do even more. So even creatively, I've just been so much more just on it, exactly what I want, and just so, you know, just getting it kind of produced and out there exactly how I imagine it. So it's just so cool to be able to just to do it again and be able to like start the process from scratch. And I think like, wow, like it really does show a growth, which is what I love. And I think that's important, is I want each era to feel like there's a whole new growth, and each album to feel like there's a whole new growth as well.
Yeah, we've touched how you've grown sort of producing and writing and getting the songs out there, but we haven't spoken about live performances, because you're so energetic on that stage. And I think obviously we've seen you perform with the Jonas Brothers, we've seen you at festivals like Lola, and I'm wondering whether now that you're writing music, do you start thinking about the writing process based on what is going to be the best and most fun to perform on stage? Or does the stage experience really come as like oh flip, and I have to choose songs to perform, or do you start writing for what's going to feel good on that stage?
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's the songs that are really fun on stage is just those big epic songs that everyone's screaming. There's some emotion in there, you know, it's kind of all tangled up in one. And I feel like when I'm in the studio and I'm writing something, I'll know that I'm going to write something good depending on what I'm feeling, you know, and it's like, if there's something really important I need to say, I know that's going to be so good, because I know I'm going to get all my emotions down onto that song. And then, you know, as you start listening to it a few weeks later, again and again, and you're trying to pick what do you want to release, you know, what you want to release and what you don't, you then start to really like tap into how it's going to feel on stage and how it's going to feel live, and you just you kind of start imagining it right in front of you, and it's like you're seeing it in front of you. So yeah, it's really exciting when you get songs like that as well, that you just can't wait to perform. And honestly, all my new songs, I'm like, just get me on that stage already, you know, just perform it.
We have to get you to Cape Town again. I know you've come to travel to Cape Town just for vacation, but we have to get you onto some of the stages here. Trust me, we are raucous. Like, you do not want to stand on a stage here in South Africa and in Cape Town. The people, if you want to go wild, like, those are the people to go wild with. And I think they would love to see you here in South Africa. We'll have you here soon. Yeah, we'll love to have you here. But listen, Delucia's got a whole bunch of quick fire questions she wants to run away with. But before we do, I always have to get something deep out of our artists who we get a chance to spend some time with. And one of the things that obviously I've been dying to know from you is that you've had like pretty crazy momentum, particularly over the last few years. But it's something that you've probably had to fight quite hard for in the industry. And fans don't often realize the journey up until the one moment of fame that they might have seen you sort of blow up for. What do you believe are some of the things you've had to fight the most for in the industry that maybe fans don't realize?
I feel like honestly, like when you first sign to a record label, you know, you want to make sure they're focused on you and you're getting the attention you need to become an artist and to grow a fan base. And I signed at 18 in LA to an American label. So for me, it was the time difference. There was just so many kind of things that was quite worrying. Not in a bad, just a bit like, I need to make sure, you know, they know I'm still here. So I feel like that's something every artist has to kind of push for, is that, you know, you believe in yourself so much that you're able to also show people the kind of like image you have in your mind of where you see yourself, and you have to kind of get people to believe in you just by a few demos. So I feel like that's something that's like very interesting, because that's way before I even started to release music. That was in the process of, for a few years, just writing it all in studios. And so it's like something you just never really see. So I'd say that's something that, you know, you kind of fight for. And then, you know, once I've dropped a few songs, you know, my label, they're just amazing. And they really just were like, right, let's do this. Let's just you know, let's go, green light, let's just get it all done. So it was just amazing to see that process kind of happen. And again, like I said, just something that no one gets to see is that kind of real grind you're doing in the studio, where you want to make sure everyone's loving what you're writing, and you're making sure you're expressing how much you love a song, and you're really trying to push for that one to be released.
Which Meghan Trainor song do you wish that you sang first?
Ooh. All About the Bass.
Lots to choose from.
All about the bases of C. Absolute bad.
That's a good one. Okay, next one. Early bird or night owl? When are you most creative?
Like really strange, like in my sleep. Like that sounds funny, but like I wake up with like ideas, like movie ideas, like songs, like it's great. Start writing it all down, and then later in the day I'm like, wait,
what is that?
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to put together a puzzle, trying to figure out what it is.
Exactly.
Next one. Who is someone that you would totally fangirl over if they were to DM you?
Harry Styles.
Thank you. I was going to say the same. We'll fight you for him. We'll fight you.
Okay. So what is one thing that you always pack in your bag before you leave home?
I always pack my digital camera.
Nice. Got it. You got to make sure everything is captured. Love that. And then if you could have a perfume named after one of your songs, what would it be called?
Oh, like Perfume on Fire or something, like House on Fire.
No, man.
It's better than Reggae, guys.
Like maybe like
well
steamy perfume. I don't know, like sexy girl perfume. I don't know.
Okay, and then the next one is, if you could rate anyone's wardrobe for a day, who would you pick?
Other than Harry Styles. Oh my word, Dua.
I would want to I'd want to wear all her clothes.
Oh no, she's got a great wardrobe. Okay, and then the last one is, which emoji do you overuse?
Probably the little like cute, cryy, shy face that you have, you know?
Yeah. The one that says pretty please.
Yeah,
we love it.
Exactly. I always think I get away with what I'm saying when I use that emoji.
I know she said last one, but I also want to know who you're listening to. Like, who is on high rotation on your playlist? What series are you watching? What music you're listening to? What inspires your creativity?
I'm listening to loads of R&B right now. I'm obsessed with R&B right now. Like, I've always loved it, but the last few months I've been heavily listening to a lot of R&B. I just love the free flow of it all. So, that's been something I've been really inspired by, and even a few of my songs have tones of that. So Yeah, it's been
Okay.
so cool to dig into that and then get inspired by R&B.
The Hit 30 Countdown with Danilo Acquisto. Saturdays 9 to 12 p.m.
Only on Good Hope FM.